Hello. It feels really good to be back. My name is Sarah. I am coming to you from Northeast Ohio. If you are still subscribing and watching this, thank you so much. If you're new, welcome. I took a very unintentional summer break, I guess I'll call it. My last episode was back in May. And I did lose quite a few subscribers, so I was really bummed about that. But I understand not everybody can be patient. And like I said, it was totally unplanned. I am going to catch you guys up on everything. All the knitting, which is very little, by the way. A lot of yarn buying. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. And some things that I am working on right now. So let's just get into it because I have a whole page of notes that we're going to try to get through today. And I mean, I might leave a little bit of yarn stuff out at the end. We'll just have to see how our timing goes. So anyway, I'll catch you up really quick. The past few months, it is now September 2nd, actually. So it's been a really long time since I hopped on, and then there were a lot of life things going on, and then it just came to be one of those things that it felt like it was just so hard to jump back into because so much time had passed. So I'm just kind of, I'm sure I'm going to be leaving a few things out. I'm just kind of starting this back up as is, and I'll see how much I can remember. But back in June, my last episode I think was in May, back in June, the very beginning of June, I had been working with a therapist for a while. There's a whole bunch of life stuff in previous videos. I'm not going to rehash that and make everybody listen to it again. But I was diagnosed with ADHD. And I went through the testing and all of that and was working with my therapist. And once I got that diagnosis, while it was very helpful because it explained a lot of things going on, it kind of put me in just a really bad spiral, like mentally. And I just needed to take some time to myself. So I'm still working through that. Obviously, it's, nothing that is going away. But anyway, I'm not going to bore everybody with all of that. So that kind of started everything. And then kids got out of school in June. I chaperoned my son, who was a just done sophomore in high school. I chaperoned his class trip to New York City. So that was a crazy amount of fun. It was so jam-packed. We were busy every minute of the day from, I don't even know, from like 8 a.m. to like 10:30, 11 p.m. It was utterly exhausting. But I love New York City. I think that was only my second time, and we got to see a few shows on Broadway, which is really the reason why I was going. It's been like on my bucket list to see a show on Broadway, and we got to see 3. We got to see 6, which I had seen here at our Cleveland Playhouse. So it was really cool to see that just, in a different venue with different cast. We saw And Juliet, which I loved so much. And then we got to see Moulin Rouge, which was also amazing. And it was great to just see something that's been out for so long. I hadn't even seen the movie, so I really didn't even know what to expect. And it was just so phenomenal. And it was so cool to see all of the kids get to experience everything that we did. And it was awesome. It was an awesome trip. We were gone for, it was just shy of a week. So that was a great time. And then in July, my family went on a vacation to Virginia, like my extended family, meaning my family, my grandparents, my aunt, uncle, cousin, her husband, all of our dogs. We have been going the past few years. We just kind of rent a really big house in just a random place, and just go away for the week. So we found a great house in Virginia and went there for a week. And then in August, July, after we got back, my son had his sweet 16, so he is now 16. Very exciting. We're still working through all the driving bits. He just finished his in-car student teacher driving, and I actually just got the certificate of completion mailed to me this morning, so he has his driver's test in the next few weeks here. So that's super exciting. And then in August, if you live in the U.S. or at least in the Northeast U.S., we had some really intense, terrible storms that came through from weather that was in the southern US, you know, kind of get like everything shifted up here eventually. And we lost power for a week. And luckily we had no damage to our home. There were a lot of people that suffered so much damage. And we fortunately did not, or, you know, no issues with our house or anything, but we did lose power for a week. And that just really took a whole different kind of mental toll on myself. So that happened at the beginning, and then school's back in session. So it was kind of a whirlwind of a summer. I'm explaining it back right now. It doesn't seem like we were that busy, but there was a lot of bits going on all in between too. So I have 2 kiddos that are now in marching band. So they also had band camp in August before school started. And it's just nice to have everybody back in school, back to routines. You know, I mean, our lives are a lot busier when school's in session, but all good busy stuff. So we now have a junior, a sophomore, and a 3rd grader. So all very exciting things. So that was kind of the summer in a very quick whirlwind. In terms of knitting though, I know that this happened to me last summer as well, and I know it happens to a lot of people, but I just like didn't do a lot. And I don't know why. I think a lot of it is just the heat. Like my hands get really like sticky and gross if I'm like outside trying to knit. So I really kept it to small like socks and things like that. I did have a gift knit that I needed to get worked on and done. I'll talk about that too in a second. So I feel like I don't have a lot of finished objects to show, which is fine too. So we'll just I guess we could just get started with those. I did knit a pair of socks for my husband for his birthday. His birthday was at the beginning of July. So I'll just put a picture up here. I don't know where they are and I didn't care to try to find them. It is a great striped, I really like this dyer. This is the second purchase I've made from her. I don't even know why I'm assuming it's a woman. I shouldn't do that because I don't know. But it is, I don't know if you would say that Dion or Dion, like a play on her name or his name. But this one is called Monarch Caterpillar. The reason I had picked this one for my husband is it's a black, yellow, and white stripe. Our like school colors for our school district are black and gold, and then he is also a Steelers fan, so it kind of dually worked out to do those. And then I wanted to make leftover socks for myself for going to the football games and stuff like that. So those are done. My other pair of socks that I finished, I know I finished more, but I just can't remember, and I didn't do a good job of keeping track. My project notebook that I was keeping track hasn't been updated probably since April, so I have no idea where I am with anything. I've kind of kept up with Ravelry, but I'm not even sure about that either. So I'm going to spend this next week or so updating my project book, updating Ravelry with the information I can find at least. But anyway, another set of socks that I finished are the Mermaid Avenue socks. It's a Summer Lee Knits pattern. She actually inspired me from one of her videos that she did a few months ago, saying that this is actually a great pattern or textured sock for variegated yarns. Because a lot of times, you know, like the variegation gets just like lost in texture. And I couldn't have agreed more. These socks turned out amazing. So this is the... or maybe this way, I don't know, whatever, you get it. And obviously there's pictures as well, but it's such a cool texture. I really liked it a lot. It was a really easy repeat to do. These were actually intended for a friend of mine for her birthday, but they're not now. So I forgot how tight my gauge is when it's a textured pattern, meaning like, you know, if there's slipovers or cabling or any of that, like if it's not a plain vanilla sock pattern, my gauge is tight. So unfortunately I realized a bit too late that these were going to be too tight for her width wise. So I just made them to myself. I don't necessarily have narrow feet, but I don't have wide feet. So these will fit me perfect, actually. Maybe I subconsciously did it. But they're so bright and vibrant. I also don't know what yarn this is, and I'm kicking myself for that. I always keep the yarn tags in the project bag, and for some reason I don't have it with this one. But I feel like I did purchase this a while ago, so I feel like maybe this is an Annette Wakes Studio colorway. I was trying to think back to who I was buying from way back when, and I feel like these might be hers, and if they're not, then I'm sorry to whoever they do belong to, but they're lovely. They're lovely. I loved them very much. And I do have like a good hunk left over, so I don't know what I'll do with those. Maybe I'll make somebody a pair of shorty socks or something, because it is a really great colorway. I can't believe I don't have the tag though. I don't know, that's very unlike me. Anyway, these were made and housed in a snap bag from Ginger Snap Fibers. Most of my bags are from her. It's just who I kind of discovered early on into my knitting. So those are those. And then on to my last, my last finished object to talk about. It is a baby blanket for the doctor I work with. She's having a baby in November. And I got this project started a way long time ago because I didn't want to get rushed with it. I just wanted to slowly pick away at it. I get very bored with baby blankets just because they end up being so repetitive. And I mean, obviously I know they're smaller than like a throw, but I just end up getting not annoyed, that's not the right word, but like I want to be done with them. So I started it a million months ago so that I could just slowly pick away at it. She's due in November. So I started with the, what is it called? The Bubble Baby Blanket, which is a free pattern by Pamela Lee. I bought the suggested yarn, which I never ever do, but I just wanted it to be like a bit nicer for her. So I bought, where is it? So the intended yarn is Drops Big Merino. So I bought it in this really pretty color, no, it just says color 09, but it's like a really nice, like muted lilac, I would call it. I bought all the skeins needed. It was a lot pricier than what I normally buy for baby yarn, which was again fine. I started the pattern. I could not tolerate the pattern. It's a beautiful blanket, but I must not have been in the right headspace. I don't know, but I couldn't do it. There's like a huge part of the repeat is like a knit 5 together or something like that, something like that. And I started to do it, and I like literally like could not physically do it. And then I was reading through the comments, and somebody did have a nice little cheat on how to get past the knit 5 together. I hope that's right what I'm saying, but somebody had a cheat for the complicated part of the pattern. So I did start to do that, but I just didn't like how it was working up. So I ripped it all out, and then I found another free pattern, the Dotted Swiss Baby Throw by Plymouth Yarn Design Studio. So I was like, fine, I'll just use this yarn, the Big Merino, Drops Big Merino, in this color, because I really like this color, in that blanket. We all know, like, I'm not good with yarn math and things and figuring things out. So I did it. I used up almost all of my yarn and realized that it was only half the size that the blanket needed to be. So I don't know. I'll show you what I did. I mean, because it did turn out really pretty. But so this is like where I got to. See, it's like a really beautiful, super easy repeat textured pattern. I mean, God, look how nice that looks, right? But like, I had already spent, this sounds so bad, but like I had already spent a lot of money on the yarn. I couldn't buy I would need to have bought probably like 6 or 8 more skeins. And drops is not something that we can easily get in the US, at least that I could find. Like, I had to order it from another country through Amazon, and it just, the shipping time frame, I couldn't, I couldn't. So now I have like, now I have a bunch of this yarn that I don't know what to do with, because I am not really like a purple person per se, not for any reason. I just don't have any purple. So maybe this is my sign to make something in purple, because I do like it. It is a really pretty color. It's a really pretty color. It has these great, like, you might not be able to see, but these like great like grays in here, which really help mute the color. It's really pretty, and it's really, really soft yarn. So I completely aborted that mission, and I ended up using Eddie Bauer, their Cozy Camp. It's a 100% recycled acrylic in the colorway mauve. This is the label. And it is done. I just finished it yesterday. It just needs to be blocked. And she's done. She's done, and she's appropriately sized. So this is the color for this. I really wanted to find another purple, but this was the best I could do. It is like a, well, it's mauve. I mean, it is very like true to mauve. So this is it. I don't like the yarn though. I won't use this yarn for anything. I really like to buy acrylic or a mostly acrylic base for baby blankets, only so that it's easy on parents to be able to wash and throw in the dryer and not have to worry about taking like special care of it. But there is a difference, and we all know this, there is a difference with acrylics, and this is not, it just feels really cheap to me. And it was inexpensive, but it just feels very scratchy-ish. I'm hoping putting it in wool wash and blocking it'll help do something better to it. My husband says it's fine, but you know, I mean, it's my husband, so I don't, you know, he's not gonna be honest with me. But I do really like the pattern though. Super easy repeats. It did work up a lot quicker than I anticipated, which was fantastic. I would definitely make this baby blanket again. I have a couple go-to blanket patterns that I use for baby blankets. Just, I don't like to, what's the right word? Like pre-make baby blankets and have like a little stash of them to grab, because I find the most fun with making them is to kind of find a yarn that reminds me of the mom or the parent, and then finding like a corresponding pattern that I think would be special for them. So I do have a few that I rotate through, and this will definitely be one of them as well. It was very easy. I liked it a lot. So this bad boy is done. I just have to get it blocked, which I'm gonna hopefully get it washed and blocked today, because her baby shower is on Saturday. She's not due till November, so I wasn't even thinking that like when baby showers happen. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't give it to her at the baby shower, but you know, I might as well. It's like literally part of her gift. And then this is in a bag, and I can't remember the name of this this gal, but she is in Canada, and I'll put it on the screen, because these, I've bought 2 of her bags, and these are some of my favorite bags. They're very, very, very sturdy. They have a great drawstring, and then I love that they have handles. And then also inside she has like, well, you can't really see them, but she has like multiple pockets, 2 smaller ones and then 2 larger ones right here. And I like her bags a lot. They were well worth the wait getting to me from, because I even think she's on like the west coast of Canada and I'm on the east coast of the US. So it was a long wait, but it was very well worth it. And I will definitely buy her bags again. So that's that. That might be all of my, those are all of my finished objects that I remember. So moving on, I just have a couple whips going. I had already mentioned that with my husband's socks, I was making myself some socks. So this is these are the balls that I have left. I have 2 balls, and then I'm doing them 2 at a time, but on separate needles, because I'm not a fan of 2 at a time on the same magic loop at all. So this is how far I am. Not very far yet, but that's okay. I'm also not sure how far I like excuse me, I like a really long leg, but I'm not sure how far my yarn is going to get me. So my plan is for the heel, I'm just adding some stroll in their black. So I'm going to maybe do a couple more stripes on the leg so that they're like a little bit longer. Like I'll probably do, so next would be white. I'll probably do a white, black, white repeat maybe, so maybe like 3 more stripes, and then add in the heel. And then I'm just gonna see how far I can go with the foot, and then I'm just gonna pick back up with the stroll black. I was already planning on using that for the toe because I knew I wouldn't have enough. So if I don't have enough foot, I'll just pick up with the stroll black and do, you know, my last bit and the toe with the stroll. I wasn't too worried about that since that's like always in a shoe anyway. So that's that. Oh, and this is in a cute little patchwork or faux patchwork bag. By Polka Dot Creek, the Canadian. They're a Canadian dyer and maker as well. If you hear music, I'm sorry, my sons are practicing their instruments, so you may have some background noise. Let's see, my other pair of socks that I'm working on are another Summerly knits pattern. They're her Maine Coast, what is it? Maine Coast summer socks. And this is in, I'll show you my done one. I have one done. So this is where we are. I love how these turned out. It's just a very lightly speckled yarn. It was one of my Farmer's Daughter Fibers colorways. So I just popped that on. I am through the heel flap and gusset decreases on my second one. So there's these. Oh, sorry. It looks, the legs look so small. I'm telling you, I am not used to my gauge with like cabling and stuff like that. I'm doing these on a magic loop. I think because I think I'm using my bigger needle. I think I'm using like a 225. These addies are impossible to read. 2.5. Oh no, these are a 2.5 millimeter. So I purposely, so my magic loop are the only ones that I have in a 2.5. So I'm doing them on that to try to work out my tight gauge, which they're still tight, but the cables will relax a lot when I go to block them. This is in another ginger snap fiber bag. I liked the fancy gold zipper on it and the bees, which is why I got it. So those are going good. I mean, I really like, if I sat down and just like committed like a small bit of time, like I'd be able to have them done in a day. I just was really sidetracked trying to get this baby blanket done. So those will probably be like my next high priority. My stripe socks that I'm working on, I take with me to football games since like they don't require any thought and they're just stockinette. So those will probably still be my football knitting socks, even though I do want them done for the season. But you know, whatever, you gotta prioritize things. And then next up is a surprising, some people may be surprised by this, others may not, but before I started knitting, I learned to knit in 2020, I think. I was like a COVID knitter. I crocheted for a huge part of my life. Never anything like super successful, like mostly just blankets and things like that. I made a lot of projects that I ripped out, but I've crocheted for 25, 30 years now probably. My mom taught me when I was a kid. But I've never been drawn to crocheted garments. Don't come at me. Everybody has their preferences. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I'm not saying that they're not beautiful. I'm not saying that the designers are not talented. I just personally have never been drawn to them as much as I have been drawn to knitwear. But lately, I have been. I don't know. Maybe I'm going through like an early midlife crisis. But I am currently making the Tidepool rectangle tee by Jess Coppom from Make and Do Crew. And I'm doing it exactly in what her what's it called, sample was done in. It's the 24/7 cotton by Lion Brand. It's a DK weight and it's in their prints. And this one is in the colorway Spring. Yeah, Spring. That's what her sample was in. I tend to really love projects based on like the samples. I'm not very imaginative when it comes to trying to pick new colors or imagine things in new colors. So if I like it, I like it, and that's what I do. So I do have one done. It's constructed in 2 separate panels, worked like side to side, and then you sew up the front, the sides, and the back, and then it creates like a little V-neck. So it is probably, I haven't looked, but I'm sure it's reversible. The only difference is the front has a faux button, not even like a band, but just the way you sew it in an overlap, you then sew buttons on top just for like a little detail. So I love that even more because they're not functional buttons. They're literally just like a design feature. So I don't have to worry about like a button band or doing any of that kind of stuff. So I have one rectangle done. So it sits on you like this. So it's just like a nice little, it's almost just like a little cap sleeve, like there's barely anything there. And then you do the second one here, and then you just sew it up. I don't know. I don't know why I was intrigued by it. I liked it. It's been super easy to crochet. The pattern repeat is like so easy. My most frustrating part is getting the chain and the first row done. You have to do the chain really tight to make up for the looseness of the rest of it. I do understand you can go down a hook size, but I'm already doing it in an E hook, which is the recommended. So I don't have anything smaller, nor could my hands handle anything smaller. So it's just that first chain on both of them is just the frustrating part for me. I have also done I've started the second panel, and I have done the chain and the first row twice now, and I have to do it for a third time. I don't understand what my problem is, but I completely miscounted. I must have been looking at a different size when doing the foundation chain. So the other panel's getting its third attempt, but now of course I've like lost all steam to even try to do it because I'm getting excited about other projects. I'll tell you. So anyway, so that is going strong. This is in my cute little seed bag. Just a cute little filled with dog hair and cat hair drawstring. I loved this one because of the like different color drawstring. I don't know. I just thought it was cute. And this is by Sassy Sacks. I've purchased a lot of her bags as well. She, to me, is incredibly affordable. Her bags are very well constructed. No pockets or anything on the inside, but for me, for a lot of my projects, that's okay because I carry around a little tin. Let me see if I have it. I usually put all of my notions in a tin. I might not have one in this bag. I don't have one in this bag. So I don't care necessarily if there's pockets. I do like pockets in bags when they're bigger projects, but for small little things like this, love it, don't care, totally fine. So that's going, so that's like half done ish, because you know, if you don't count the seaming and all that kind of stuff. Talked about that. Oh, most exciting, coming back at you. This is in a bag by Charming Necessities. Also very much love her bags. Drawstring, have the handle. She has pockets all on the inside as well. Are you ready for this? My lightweight Raglan pullover. It is a free pattern by Purl Soho. You may remember this from a million months ago. I was working on this at my knit night with my girlfriend Janice. She also was working on it as well. We were knitting it together. She's never really successfully made a garment, so we were doing it together. And then there became a point. Sorry, there are squirrels outside my office chasing each other up and down a tree, and I just always think that's so funny when that happens. Anyway, so I was doing so good. We had, both of my sleeves are done. You do the sleeves first and then it's worked bottom up, which I'm not a fan of that, but whatever. And I had gotten several inches done on the body and it was twisted. Like my body, it was twisted. And I was devastated. I was devastated. I had put so much time into it. So I had ripped it all out and I tucked it away. It ended up that we had to cancel knit night for a good long time anyway, just with everything going on in the summer and both of us being pretty busy. So we just restarted knit night last Thursday. Also very quickly over the summer, my girlfriend texted me that her body also got twisted too, despite how careful she was. So her and I were literally both in the same boat. So we decided to restart knit night last Thursday. We were able to finally like make that time again to resume that. And we both were getting back to the bodies of this pullover because we had 2 sleeves. So like what, like you have to finish it. If I didn't have the sleeves, I probably would have just used the yarn for something else. But alas. So I started it before, I needed to get going like a good bit on it before last Thursday happened, just so that I wasn't trying to like do counting and things like that while we were catching up. Because we also had a whole summer to catch up on. And I'm proud to say it is not twisted. And I personally feel like I've made really, really good progress with this. So I restarted this last week. And again, it's, worked bottom up. Oh, the yarn I'm using is the recommended yarn. It's the Sawgrass. Ugh, where's the little thing? I have it in here. Here it is. Sweetgrass. I was totally wrong. Sweetgrass. It's an organic alpaca blend. And it's in the colorway Buckwheat Beige, which is quite true to the color. And it's just a great neutral. It's coming up a little lighter on camera, but there we go. That's better. Duh, hold it back. It's a really nice neutral. And I don't have necessarily anything in the color, so it was perfect. Anyway, so I am this far into the body. You do short row shaping in the front and the back to create this nice little dip. And then the feature, I guess, on this is you do a corded stitch. You do it along there we go. You do it along the bottom hem, the cuffs, and then you do it along the neckline as well. It is a pain in the butt. I don't know if you've ever done corded stitch, but it is dreadful. Like it just is so time consuming, because what they recommend, which I did with and without, and I do personally recommend from experience, you put a lifeline in at a certain row to be able to reference that row. Because a corded stitch, if you don't know, is you pick up a stitch from X amount of rows below where the row you're in and bring that up to your needle and then knit that along with the next stitch together. So you're knitting 2 together, but your first stitch is brought up from a row below. Like this pattern was the 4th row down or something like that is what you brought up. So it does make such a huge difference to have a lifeline in, so that you just automatically know what row you're referencing, so you're not accidentally grabbing different rows, and it creates a really nice straight corded stitch. But yikes, it's like a lot of work the row you're doing the lifeline in, and then a lot of work to lift it up and do it. I'm hoping it'll be worth it. It really does look really nice. So we'll see. So I'm a couple inches in. I can't even remember where we're at now. It's like, now it's just stockinette until X amount of inches from the like longest part of your hem. Hopefully it'll all be worth it. The short rows were optional as well. I chose to do them. My girlfriend did not. I don't know. We'll see. It looks like we are going strong at this point. I'm just glad my body is not twisted. I have checked it 100 times and I feel like I still keep checking it because I'm just like, I don't know, scared. So that's that. So those are all of my whips. I did forget a really, really fun finished object, I guess you could call it, that I have that's not knitting or crochet. I have another friend who recently, and this sounds so juvenile when I say it, but recently got into paint by numbers. And I was like, well, that might be fun to do. I was in a point where I wasn't knitting a whole lot. So I was like, yeah, let me see whatever. And it was quite a laborious process. Like, there's a lot of numbers and there's a lot of like really small spaces that you have to print, but I finished my first one and I'm like blown away. I feel like it looks like so amazing. So I'm going to show it to you, but I'm going to stand back there a little bit so that you can see the whole thing. Okay. Hopefully the reflection isn't too bad. I mean, right? Like, right? I feel like it looks so good. So I was like, I don't know. I was literally like, oh, I feel like I'm like blushing. I was so excited about this. So I'm going to, I like envision it in like a really big, thick, like ornate, but like fake ornate gold frame, or like even a brushed gold, like something like very fancy, but not the price of fancy. And then I want to hang it up. I'm repainting my dining room like a really dark not hunter green, but like a deep olive green, I'll call it, is what I'm thinking. And I just thought this would look so nice on a gold frame, like on the wall, hanging up in there. It was, I'm like obsessed. Like, I can't even believe it, how good it turned out. It's like so funny too. If you've ever done a paint by number, if you haven't, you're like painting, like whatever method you choose to do it in, you know, like, and it just looks like this like blob. And you're like, this is not gonna be anything like what the picture's supposed to be. And then it just all comes together. And it's like the most amazing thing. It's like knitting, right? When you're just like blah, 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 and then it just like magically comes together. I was so excited. So I already started another paint by number 2, which ideally isn't great because I don't need to be adding like more crafts or hobbies to what I already have going on. But I couldn't resist it. So I'm painting one now that is for a Christmas gift for my mother-in-law. And I think she'll really like it. It's kind of like a funny thing, but anyway, I'll show it to you when it's done. Yeah, so new hobby. I'm literally like, I can't even get over how great I think that turned out. And it's not like, I literally just like colored in lines that were printed there for me with a color that was told, you know, for me to do. But I was so happy with it. Okay, so now, if you're still here and want to stick around for this literally obnoxious amount of yarn that I purchased, I'm going to run through it quickly. I might not run through like the store-bought stuff, but I definitely want to talk about the hand-dyed stuff because most of it was spawned from me getting excited and prepped for summer sock camp, which I failed miserably at. This is the second summer I tried to do it, and I didn't even post any of my finished objects to even be like entered in any of Kay's drawings. I don't know what happened, but I got real excited to buy a bunch of yarn and I haven't been back to show it. So I wanted to at least give a little time to that. So the majority of the yarn that I bought came from an Etsy shop called Cashmere and Coconuts. Oh my God. Just so you have some idea, and I promise I will be very quick about all this, I have literally a laundry basket that's full of yarn. It's disgusting. I don't even know what happened because previous to this, I wasn't buying any yarn. I don't know. So what I will say about her yarn first is her packaging is, she just like, you can tell she just really cares about it. She puts all of her yarns in these like nice little black netted bags just to keep them like nice and everything during shipping. Okay, so this first one is called, and these are all fingering just to get that out of the way. This is called Polywana Cracker. Right? I can't. Like her colors are so phenomenal. Like I can't. This one is called Back to the 80s. This is how I got to her shop, because I had searched for 80s inspired yarn on Etsy, because Kay's summer sock camp was kind of like 80s, 90s themed. So this is Back to the 80s. I can't with it. This one I thought would be perfect for fall. It's called Autumn Rainbow. And that's Stellina in there. It's coming off speckled right now, but it's just Stellina. I have only used Stellina one other time in a sock, and they were a gift knit, so I don't personally have anything with Stellina, so I really wanted to try it. So I was super excited about that. This next one is called Electric Pool. Oh, this is her label too, if you guys wanted to see that. It's really cute. Oh, I love this one too. I mean, I love all of them. This one's Tropical Sunset. They're amazing. They're literally amazing. I can't. This one is called Caboodle, as in Lisa Frank. Hello. So these, if you're paying like super close attention, these are somewhat similar, but this one had more white in it, and I do think that they'll knit up very differently, even though they're kind of like all the same like color-ishes. All right, and then this one is called Gala Bird. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. It's based off of a bird. If she still has the picture up on Etsy, I'll show, because it really is like, it's like spot on. And though I love like wild and crazy socks, I do want some more like neutrals. So this has like a little dash of pink in it, but for the most part, it's just like a really nice white and gray kind of doohickey. I'm almost done with hers. I know, I went like bananas. Okay, this was a sock set called Memories. I have a really hard time resisting sock sets because I love having the heel and toe different. So that was that. So these were all from her. Yes, that was all from her. I know, but that was like a really long time ago. So if you want to like girl math it or whatever, that was not like a recent purchase. A couple other ones that I bought at summer sock camp time. I had bought Bumblebee Acres Mystery Taylor Swift sock yarn club or whatever it's called. It's not a renewing one. You have to like purchase it every month. And June's ended up being based on Cruel Summer. And this is the colorway. So I do really like, I do really like it. If you've been here before, I'm not a fan of mystery yarns, yet I still always get sucked into them. And then the other mystery bundle that I bought was, I also love Barbie, and like I know everyone's all like either loves or doesn't love the Barbie movie, but I'm a huge fan of it. I love it so much. So while I was looking for yarns, I had searched up Barbie yarn, and I ended up buying the 3 by the Sea Barbie. I don't know if it was in June, but their mystery bundle as well. And I think we knew that it was going to be based on Malibu Barbie, and this is what it ended up being. And I very much love this. Very much. I did go all in and get the Progress Keeper and the needle stoppers as well, because if you're already spending $38 on yarn, you might as well spend $45 and get everything. Speaking of which, I did purchase their mystery sock bundle for Hocus Pocus, which will be getting delivered in October. I figured you really can't go wrong with Hocus Pocus though, and that's another one of my like favorites. So hopefully the yarn buying is gonna die down now. I did also though, when I was looking for yarn for summer sock camp, I had favorited this one from Beach Bum Yarns. yarn on Instagram, and she ended up recently having a sale and free shipping, so I like really couldn't resist it. This is called Ghost Hunting at the Mall. I mean, what? I'm like, the colors in this are like bananas crazy. I don't know. Dyers just like continue to blow my mind. Like what? Oh my. So obviously I have a lot of socks to knit up. This doesn't even account for what I already like had. Plus there's still more. Here we go. I have been, for a very, very, very long time, I have been following Sock Obsessions Yarn. She is a dyer out of Las Vegas, Nevada in the US. And I am taking a break from purchasing things like in general right now. So of course I like had to panic buy some yarn from her. So this one is called Wisdom Reloaded. This one is called Black Poppy. This one is called Cucumber Fresca. Ironic 90s. And then this is the one that actually like super sucked me in. This is Blue Vision, and this is a 150 gram skein. This is all it came in for right now. So I am going to make myself, and my youngest really likes hand knit socks. I'm going to make us some matching ones. He is obsessed with like all colors. So I think he'll super love these, and I'm going to surprise him with a little pair of some Mom and Eddie matchies. Do you guys want me to show you the rest of it? What are we at? We're at like almost 50 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna blow through the rest of this. If you want to leave now, thank you so much. But otherwise I'm 10 minutes, maybe not even. I did want to get some fall yarn bags, so I did purchase some from Fancy Boy Designs off of Etsy. Crazy fast shipping. This is a maker. His name is Elijah from, I think he's in Louisville, Kentucky. So he's like pretty close to me. So the shipping was super fast. So that was fall. I wanted to get fall, but then I ended up getting sucked into this, which is not fall at all, but I loved it. So that's that. And then you guys, I didn't even notice this till I unbagged it. First of all, these bags were, I thought, incredibly affordable. There's not any inside pockets or anything, but they all have zippers and a detachable lanyard, whatever these things are called, a detachable thing. So they were already affordable. But then I saw when I took them out of the bag, like just now, he also has these like themed things attached to the zipper for a zipper pull, but obviously you could totally take that off and use it as a progress keeper. So even my fall one has this like adorable maple leaf on it. I mean, these bags, you guys, like you get a lot for the price of these bags. So obviously everything's going to be linked below and all of that, but Fancy Boy bags, right? Fancy Boy Designs on Etsy. Shipping was so crazy fast, and I couldn't even believe that you get these little guys on the zippers too. Oh my god, it was like a very wonderful surprise. Okay, I'm gonna blow through the rest of this right now. So first up, okay, Lion Brand had a sale on their like bundles when you purchase yarns for with designs. I'm not saying that right. They put together bundles with designers. That's how I got the yarn for the rectangle Tidepool. Oh my god, the crochet top I just showed you guys. That's like how I even like I saw it when it first came out because I followed the Make and Do crew on Instagram, and I was like waffly about it, but then I saw Line Brand was having the sale on these bundles, so I got that. And then of course you can't just buy one because you want to get the free shipping, so I ended up buying this yarn, which is more of the 24/7 cotton in the colorway Camel. And with this, I'm making the, I don't know how to say it correctly. I'm going to say the Easy, but I know that's not how you pronounce it. The Easy Basket Bag, which is a pattern for 2 of Wands. Why a bag, you ask? I don't know. I don't have a reason. I don't use crocheted bags. Maybe I will from now on. I don't know. I don't know why I was drawn to it. I just was. And then the other bundle, so I bought 3 bundles total. The other bundle is again the 24/7 cotton. This one is DK weight, and this is the colorway Nightshade. It's this really great navy. It's like super rich. And with this, I'm making the Whiteshell tank by Knits and Knots. I don't necessarily have any kind of time frame for those, but as we all know, yarn doesn't go bad, so they will be there when I am ready to pick them up. Okay, I just gotta pick this basket up. Okay, then I also got from Knit Picks this Brava Recycle DK weight. I'm sure this is acrylic. Yes, 100% acrylic yarn in the colorway Zeke. I'm not saying that right, I'm sure. I'll just show you. Zeke. It's a really great, just like neutrally gray beigey situation. This I am doing a crochet granny square crop sweater by MJ's, what is it called? What's she called? MJ's Off the Hook Designs. She's just been a crochet designer that I've been following forever and ever also. So, and I just thought a nice neutral would be great. And I, along with the rest of the world, obviously love granny squares. So I thought that would just be fun to work on and maybe have done by the fall. And then this is Comfy Fingering Weight yarn in the color Peony, also by Knit Picks. And this is a 75% Pima cotton, 25% acrylic. And with this, I'm going to be making MJ's Off the Hook Designs. What's it called? The Viscountess V-neck summer top. She has this top in a huge variety of like ways you can crochet it. Like there's long sleeve, there's short sleeve, there's with a hood, without a hood. I got sucked into her design by the color. She does this color sample on her long sleeve hooded, but I actually really love the short sleeve non-hooded version, so that's what I'm going to do with this. But now that I say that, I don't know if I bought enough yarn to make a long sleeve or a short sleeve version. We'll see how it goes. So I got that and that and that, and then uber quick, I just bought some more sock yarns because I don't know, why not? This is Knit Picks Felicini, whatever, called Produce Isle. Just a super fun little stripey. And then I brought a bunch of Croy sock yarn as well because, just because, I don't know, why not? So lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of sock yarn to be made. So hopefully I will be getting back in the spirit of things very soon. Okay, last little bitsies, TV and reads, because I still do like to go over those. TV, I have been obsessed. I've been binge watching My 600 Pound Life. Have your opinions. I love the show very, very much. My husband and I have also been watching a docu-series called Chimp Crazy that is on HBO Max. It's wild. There's only 2 episodes out right now. Actually, they might have released the 3rd one today, but they're like releasing it week by week. If you have not watched it, I don't know. Of course, like trigger for like animal things, but like it's wild. It's wild. And then the other thing we've been watching, we're back to watching The Office because we continue just to go back to the things that we know and love and want to have predictability and laughability while we're going to bed at night. So we are back to watching that, but we are watching now the Superfans episodes because we subscribe to Peacock. So we are, it is kind of almost like watching them like brand new because there's so much in there that they cut out. I guess I never realized it. So we've been having a lot of fun watching the Superfan episodes of that. And then reading, I say reading, but again, I only listen to audiobooks. I don't have the capacity to read and knit, so I like to listen and knit. I have gotten through All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Loved it. I'm a big fan of Colleen Hoover anyway. The Antique Hunter's Guide to Murder by C.L. Miller. It is her first book. I think it's a her. It's her first book. It had a lot of like bad critiques on Goodreads. I really liked it. I'm also very like easy to please though when it comes to reading. I can never figure out the mystery or the killer or the whomever. I'm always caught for a surprise at the end. I'm just bad with that. I really liked it. I learned a lot. I thought it was really cool the way she talked about a lot of antiques and things. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was a really nice, easy listen to. I also listened to First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Loved that as well. I finally finished the Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. So I just finished A Court of Silver Flames. I really loved the series. I know people love it or hate it, can take it or leave it. I enjoyed it from the first book on. I loved it. I thought that I know there's like talks that she's going to have more. I thought it wrapped up perfectly. I loved it. Loved it. I've also listened to Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Amazing listen to. I don't know how it would be to read, obviously. It was such a great, beautiful, intertwining story, heartwarming, great palate cleanser if you need one from like a lot of mysteries or yuck books or whatever. I really loved it a lot. And then I just finished All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. Loved it. Jumped right back into a little mystery situation. Totally threw me for a loop. Don't want to give anything away. Totally unpredicted ending. Loved it. Loved it. So that's where I'm at right now. Oh my God, you guys. God, this felt so good to be back. All right, I have no idea how often I'm going to be doing these. I don't want to put any pressure on myself, but it did feel really, really nice to be back and go over everything. And I am very excited to kind of like put progress keepers in all of my whips so that I can like talk to you about how far I've gotten next time. So we'll see when I'm back. Right now it's Monday. It's Labor Day in the US, so I had today off. My schedule at work has changed over the past month, so I used to be off on Tuesdays and just, kind of sat down and recorded these then. I'm now off on Fridays, so it's just been a little bit of, like, some trickiness for me to personally get used to that. So today's Monday. I am off again on Friday. I don't know. Maybe I'll, like, be crazy and no promises. No promises. But I am back, and it's so good to be back. And if you're still here, again, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys, and I appreciate you spending your time with me, because there's a million people that you could be spending your time with here. I appreciate you very much. I hope you are doing something wonderful with your day, and I will see you very soon.